Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap Session for Friday, September the 28th, 2018. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live go-to sessions to take a look at the market, macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, and then drill down to our trade levels, our targets, and our hypotheses. We do create multiple hypotheses as we do not know what the market's actually going to do. Then we wait for the market to open up, show us who's in control, and then execute the plan that best suits the market. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Taking a look at yesterday. Yesterday we were looking for open auction in range. We were looking for us to traverse the LVN, but then we were looking for sellers to step in and rotate us down. Instead, we just continued to grind up and couldn't get above the 36, but we spent the full day inside of the prior day as an inside day after having a neutral extreme down. This is a pausing system. Now, the key to today is the fact that it is the last day of the week, it's the last day of the month, and it's the last day of the quarter. So there's going to be some positioning going on, and I think you're going to see some real two-sided trading. I think they're going to take it up, try to suck in the longs, and then possibly pull the rug out from under them. But that's just my initial thoughts. In terms of the overnight inventory is about 70% net short. So we are looking for balancing a move up early, and then we want to watch this, keep watching this 14 level, the range low from yesterday, for clues. If they get inside of it, we're looking for the rotation back up into the VPOC from yesterday, which is up here at the 1920. 21 has been a key level the last little while. A lot of volume going off in that 19 to 22 area. So if we get inside of the prior day range, we're likely to rotate at least up into the 17, the overnight VPOC, if it doesn't shift down, and possibly up into 21. But we do have about 70% net short on inventory. Taking a look at the news, we just had a whole bunch of news. Canadian GDP came out better than expected. Personal spending came out as expected. Everything else is, either just a slight miss or a hit. So the next key is at 10 o'clock. Well, we've had 9:45, we've got Chicago PMI, but the next big one is going to be Michigan consumer sentiment and inflation expectation. 10:30, we've got the ECR weekly, not really that big. We've got 11 o'clock, we've got budget balance for Canada. We've got the Dallas Fed PCE today. 1 o'clock, we've got the rig count. And then 3:30, some other light news, but really it's going to be about we've got headline risks still. They are supposed to be voting on Kavanaugh today. We've got the month end and the weekend and the quarter end. So just remember, it's Friday. You got to be careful and not get in a situation where you're stubborn and blow your week and have to go into the weekend in the hole. It's the worst feeling in the world, because there's nothing you can do about it until the beginning of the week. So kind of sometimes ruins your weekend. Taking a look at the macro to the micro, I always like to start my day very simply looking at where we are in the terms of the trend. The monthly trend is very much intact. Any pullback, into the 2800s is going to be nothing. We don't even challenge the trend until we get into the 2766 area. On the weekly, we are losing some slope, but not that much. They moved down to challenge the trend, would take us down into 2883.75. So trend is still much intact. Our week open is up at 29.50. So that's going to be interesting. Our critical mass on that is down at 2903.50, and so I think it's 0350. We'll see it in a minute when we get to it, but we'll watch that to see whether or not we get to a point where it's impossible for the week to become a positive week and we end up with a negative week. On the daily, you see that we are currently right now below the 9, testing the 20. So we're getting a possible move below the 9 and the 20 that could signal a change of trend on the shorter time frame on the daily. But right now we're just going sideways the last 3 days in this balance. Going down to the 24 hour, you can see that, you know, we are looking like we're getting a possible start of a downward trend here. Again, I'm going to be, keeping a close eye on that 8 to 750 area. This is becoming a weak low down here. You can see we got to a low here of 750. Got another one here as a double bottom. Now we come down and we get down to 2908 today, yesterday. And so far, I'm sorry, not yesterday. Just this is the 4 hour. But we keep creating a weak low down in this 2907, 2908 area. So let's take a look at the structure. You see that we broke out of this balance, came up, put in the new all-time highs, which are unequalized. Then we come down. In the last 4 days, we've been trying to get back above this 2550, the VPOC, for the week so far, and we keep failing to hold that price level. They keep coming down. We got the 0950, but I'm really watching the 08 area as my key line in the sand below that. Then it looks like we'll get the bigger move down to test the 2901.50 area and possibly down into the 2894. We need to get back above that 1750 and get inside of the prior day range at 14 if we're going to get any chance to get up into the 20 to 21 area and possibly back up into this balance at 25. I expect the rotations to be fairly wide and aggressive. I don't think we're going to have a lazy market today. So our overnight high is up at 24.25. Our overnight low, this is still going on with my charts. I go to try to click on something. Our overnight low is 08. Still haven't heard back from IRT. I sent them a note yesterday morning. So, come on. Our 20 period daily ATR is running at 2079. So off of the overnight low, our upside daily ATR is up here at 2875. Our downside daily ATR is down here at 2903.50. Our weekly critical mass down is 0875. Our monthly critical mass is down here at 2890.75. So it's going to be interesting that there's such a wide disparity between the two. We're going to be opening up out of range, out of value, with 70% net short on inventory. So in terms of hypotheses, I'm looking for a open auction, hypo 1. Oh, I'm sorry, this chart stuff is driving me nuts. I tried rebooting and nothing seems to work. Anyway, I'm looking for a open auction out of range. I'm looking for a move up into testing the 14 to the 17 with a possible push up into the 1921 area. Then I'm looking for responsive sellers to step in and rotate us down and break the 29.0750 and push down into this 29.01 before basing and starting to work our way up. That is hypo 1. Hypo 2 is a open auction out of range, a move down into the overnight low, take out the overnight low, but just get a false break, and then a move up into the 17 and 19 area, chop around here, and then move up into this 25.50 with a late day probe to try to get above the week open at 29.50, and possibly even getting a push through to that 32 area again, but ultimately failing to hold above the week open, coming down and closing somewhere around the 25.50, give us a bit of a doji style week. That is hypo 2. Hypo 3 is a gap and go, a failure to close the gap. Sellers take control, get an open test drive or an open drive, and push down into the overnight low, fail, come down to the 29.0150 area, chop in this area, and then fail and come down and push towards this 28.94 and close back down in the balance that we were in a couple weeks ago. And then hypo 4 is an open auction out of range. Buyers step in early, take control, rotate us up into the 20, push up into the 25, chop between the 25 and the 29, and then push up and go and trend into the close of the month, the quarter, and the week, and pushing up towards those all-time highs. I don't think we'll actually get to the all-time highs this week, but basically drifting up into the close as we get above monthly critical mass. So those are my main hypotheses. Take a quick look at gold. Gold did start to break down yesterday. It broke out of this balance. We failed to hold that 89. They got down as low as 1184.30 in the Globex so far, and we're seeing weakness, and we're expecting this weakness to continue and push down. The next key area to hold is the 1180 area. Below that, I'm looking for this leg down to continue with a test down here of the fractal low at 67.10. If we can get above the 89, look for a possible rotation back to the value area and a move back to test the 1200, which is where I'd be looking for some failure again if we see rejection there. Anyway, that's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and catch you on the flip side.